One.
Thank you. Far too kind. Can I get an encore? Do you want more? Cook and roll with the Brooklyn boys. So for one last time, I need y'all.
Oh, welcome in. You already know. It's that time of year. So we are back, and it is post-draft preseason podcast number one. This is the real podcast number one. I'm welcomed by my great friend and co-host Dylan Perrone.
What's up, everybody? How we all doing? Season is underway tomorrow night. Opening game, Buccaneers Cowboys. I can't wait just as much as everyone else can. I think we had a nice draft. Already a trade, already some pickups since the draft. We're going to get into all that. And yeah, let's just dive right into it, man. I know a lot of people have been waiting. We'll give you some of our preseason, post-draft rankings to see where we kind of predict everyone's going to end up. We'll go from there. Take it away, baby Sal.
Yep, and I'll be your host this year. We will get started with the post-draft. So we're just going to go from roster to roster, starting with probably the infamous Anthony Donahue, who's been on the uptick every year since he's joined. I think he's probably had his best draft to date. We're not going to follow any of the Yahoo drafting report cards since they can be completely lopsided or biased or trash, honestly. So we're going to go with our own personal draft rankings. And we will have a scale from A to D, somewhere in between, or an F if they require it. But so what do you think about Don's draft this year?
Well, right off the bat, definitely his best draft ever. I'm super proud of him. He drafted like a couple picks in front of me. I think he was right by you. I think he was like 3 or 4 picks in front of me. So, but he took a few solid picks from me. I think he started off real strong. Henry and Edwards-Helaire in the back, like Edwards-Helaire as his RB2 is insane. He's the RB1 for the Chiefs, who's the highest scoring offense in fantasy. I think he's going to be great this year. Henry was his guy last year, super solid. I think he reached on Mike Evans a bit, but still good receivers with Evans and Thielen. I just remember during the draft, he took him over like a couple other guys that I probably would have kept, but neither here nor there. Stacked him with Tom Brady. Pitts, beast tight end, going to be a good rookie. And then Jarvis and Kenny Golladay are not bad flexes. Jarvis is one of those guys that'll give you like 8 points a game. But in full PPR, it's probably about like 11, 12. So I think that's solid there. I think his bench is kind of just a little bit poor. The only thing that would probably bring his draft grading down, in my opinion, I went a little bit biased with the Giants, of course, Darius Slay and Kadarius Toney. So he has them too, and Golladay. I mean, with the Giants offense, me being a Giants fan, I have to be realistic. There's only so many mouths to feed with that offense, including Saquon. So I don't know how good those guys are going to be. I guess Gesicki's fine with the backup tight end, but he's only going to be playing Pitts mostly. And I'd assume that he's going to start Brady over Burrow. So I think his bench is weak, but his starting roster is really good. I think I would give him a B minus. Just because the team is not complete, but considering his past drafts, I think this is very, very good. I think he should be happy with that rating.
Yeah, I mean, this is clearly going to be his strongest draft to date. I did get to sit next to him at the 3 spot. He was at the 2. He did snag Derrick Henry from me, who was someone I was targeting this year. And being at the 3, I assumed, I don't even have to even put much thought into it. Derrick Henry would fall right into my lap. There's literally one guy that could have ruined that, and that was Anthony Donahue. And that's just the way the draft seeding went. And it did force my hand on getting a 3rd pick overall, Dalvin Cook. So clearly I'm not mad about that. However, it's not the way you start your draft, it's how you finish. So he each round he surprised me more and more. I mean, obviously, like the first pick, I don't think many people can really mess up their first round. We'll get into some of that as well. But Yeah, I mean, pick after pick. It was actually kind of astonishing to see the knowledge that he's gained over these years. Some of his knowledge is still lacking, as you can see in the tail end of the draft, where he started to kind of just fade off and just start picking up giant players. You never know, that could also pay off at some point. I know it hasn't in the last 5 years, maybe, but yeah, Derrick Henry and CH is obviously a pretty stacked running back core. He seemed to have a stacked running back core as well last year, so he's good there. Thielen and Evans will be fine. They are veterans. They could be on the drop off, so hopefully that doesn't happen from this year. But if it pays off like they were last year and the years prior, they'll be great there. He got the Tom Brady Evans stack. It's always good. I think he got Pitts at a great point. I can't quite remember exactly where he got it in the draft, but I think it was somewhere around. I want to say around round 6. So I think he got him at the right time. He didn't reach for Pitts, and clearly he knows what he's doing if he knows who Kyle Pitts is. So. Galladay, obviously another veteran, but a giant player. So he literally got the whole giant receiving core, which we probably expected. And then Jarvis Landry's been a reliable flex for 10 years now, I feel like. But you're all right. The depth is a problem. And, could pay off. He's going to have to make some moves this year. That's the only thing I'm afraid of with him. Last year, I think he ended up with what, $80 to $90 of his fab.
Yep.
So if you can work some fab, work some waiver, and maybe get a trade or two down the road, when needed, maybe he can go the distance. I think he's going to start off fine, clearly, right? I mean, he's got a starting team, and
he'll be fine.
He should be able to win some games, yeah.
But if once bye weeks and injuries occur, that's where I give him the drop off from the remainder of the league. But nevertheless, don't want to spend too much time on his team. But good draft done.
I'll give him a solid B. I'll go 1 up just because I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt this year. But yeah, I can understand the B- with the depth, with the tail end of the draft there.
But overall, good draft, Don. You should be proud, buddy.
Yeah, man. That was pretty big. So instead of jumping ahead, we might as well back up a step and go to our first pick. We might as well just go in order here. I didn't really think about that earlier. So we'll go back to our first overall draft pick, who was I think
Tooch and Danny.
Tooch and Danny. That's correct.
You could
and they
start
started
with
off the draft for CMC. Yeah, I mean the normal traditional 2021 start. I know they were getting a little bit cock blocked on running backs, not maybe intentionally from me, but it was happening from me and Don. So they pretty much went receiver heavy early, from what I remember. As you can see, they had 8. Yeah, so they had CMC. They grabbed AJ Brown, Allen on the swing, and then they were able to get Deontay Johnson in the next round. Pretty much waited for an RB2, ended up slamming Ronald Jones, and then got some other guys, down the line. I like the Ramondre Stevenson pickup that I was trying to wait in the last 3 rounds, but they got to it first. They get a later Trey Sermon, so that could pay off in the tail end of the season. They got Ronald and Giovanni Bernard, so one of those two got to work out, probably at the RB2.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that, and then they definitely need some help on the tail on the bench here. Devontae Smith, we don't know. There's a question mark there, the flex position. But all in all, I do like the team. Kyle Murray's huge. He can carry half your team. So, matter of fact, I think Yahoo did it correct. I think another B is pretty solid here. I think he's right on par with Don. I don't think they had the draft they may have wanted. I think that they kind of got stuck in a shitty position. But
yeah, I think
also, it was a 2-person draft, so it wasn't just one mind. So.
These guys always draft a good team. They're 2 smart guys when it comes to fantasy football. But they did go a little bit outside the box, in my opinion. Normally, I think
more traditional than normal.
I think that they started off right with McCaffrey, of course, and they went back to 2 receivers. I think they went AJ Brown and Keenan Allen. And then I guess that they didn't see any running back value remaining, so they just stacked the receivers. But if their RB2 doesn't work out, I think they're going to be shot, especially for bye weeks. And God forbid if anything happens to McCaffrey, like that happened to him last year.
Yeah.
I know they reached on Kyler Murray very early. I actually spoke to Tooch, and he said that Tooch is normally waits on QBs, and he told me that that was Danny's decision. He said Danny was very big on Kyler, and they wanted to reach on getting a good QB. So be it. I mean, Kyler's a stud, but I would probably prioritize an RB2 over Kyler Murray in that position. I think they got him in round 4 or 5 because they had the swing on the double pick. Nevertheless, I think with McCaffrey on the team, these two guys running the team, and then of course the stacked receiver core, at least the big three, Keenan Allen, AJ Brown, and Deontay. I'm not sure how Devontae Smith's going to pan out. I think they're banking on Trey Sermon to hit as a rookie, as their RB2. Other than that, they kind of just have some flyers at running back. Stevenson might hit, but there's a lot of risk, which is why I can't give them an A. But Tooch is known for risk. Danny's known to go more safe, so it's kind of interesting to see how two minds draft. I think I'd give them a little bit above Don, just because of the McCaffrey and the stack of receivers like AJ Brown and Keenan Allen is just ridiculous in PPR, along with Deontay, and Deontay's as your third receiver, which is awesome. Yeah, that's crazy. So I think that I'd probably give them a flat B, a little bit above Don, but just because of the running back situation and still questionable bench as well, like Ty Johnson, Tony Jones. These are obviously just they're throwing flyers and just
throwing darts.
Yeah, what's the expression? Throw darts at a wall and see which one sticks. So I think that's what they're trying to do. But nevertheless, these guys are good managers. They'll always be offering trades to people. They do it every year, and they always make pickups. So I have no doubt they'll be competitive. I'll give them a B for draft, but as managers, I think they're right up there with the best of them. So I think there's this B team could easily turn to an A team by the end of the season.
They literally stacked 6 running backs on the bench for now. So, in fact, they actually have to pick up a defense still. So they got to let one of these guys go. I don't know. Trey Sermon or Stevenson can work out on the talent if they can, but they have to get into the playoff position first by then, probably.
I agree.
So we'll see.
All right, good job, Tooch and Danny. Always a good draft for you guys. Let's move forward.
Well, I would be the 3rd overall pick.
All right, the Playground Predators.
They're back. So I decided to bring the name back since that's the year I won.
Championship with his team name, right?
Yeah. So, instead of losing the finals 2 years in a row, see if I can break that curse.
Yep. Do you want to, since this is your team, do you want to take it? Since this is your team, here, I guess I'll grade your team first, and then you could kind of talk us through your draft strategy. To be honest, not just saying it because you're here, you have the best running back core in the league. That's without a doubt. Dalvin Cook, Antonio Gibson, and Josh Jacobs, they could literally be 3 RB1s. Josh Jacobs a little bit lower end because I know they added Kenyon Drake, and that might generate some concern, but Gruden's going to run the ball, and Jacobs is going to see 250 plus touches probably this season. That alone is going to win you a lot of games. The fact that you got Antonio Gibson on the wrap, you and I have talked about this off air. Never thought that was going to happen. That was huge. It was kind of like the value fell to you, so you had to take it type of thing. You and I also talked before the draft. You were contemplating Devontae Adams because you said having one of those big time receivers in a full PPR league is huge, and that is kind of how Joey won last year. I know you lost to him, so you probably got nightmares of that. But you decided to go away from that route. Not that your receivers are bad, but I don't see that many big name guys. I mean, CeeDee Lamb and Chase Claypool, 2 second-year guys, a lot of good upside, I think. But I don't know if any of them are guaranteed to be a stud receiver. I think we'll see. Callaway, stud in preseason. I think we'll see. And I think you also went Dak Prescott earlier than I anticipated. Your bench is solid. AB, I think, is nice. DJ Chark is nice. Those are 2 receivers that you could throw in the flex on any given day, and they'll give you numbers. But I want to hear from you. 1, how come you swayed away from the receiver heavy? 2, how come you took Prescott early because you normally don't? And 3, just your overall draft.
Yeah. So obviously, Dalvin Cook fell at 3, so that was a no-brainer. Other than I wasn't joking when I was contemplating Devontae Adams. I was also contemplating Kamara and Zeke, so it was really between the 4. I tested both strategies prior because we knew what 1 and 2 were. We knew Dom was locked in on Henry. There was a chance for me to take Adams and still end up with a decent, solid team, but my running back core would have been trash. And me being a traditional kind of fantasy owner, that's hard for me to do, especially in this league specifically, where it's actually probably the most competitive of my leagues. Antonio Gibson fell at 2. We all saw it. I'm not sure how. I still don't know how. So I took it. I wasn't going to let that go. Once I saw that, on the swing, I ended up getting CD Lamb. I had a choice between CD, McLaurin. There's a few guys in that tier. But CD I have in multiple leagues. Obviously, I guess there's a little bit of a Callaway bias, but I think he does look good. I think this is set up for a breakout year. So I'm definitely playing the upside there. And then I had to pretty much, and then I planned on getting receiver in my 4th round. But that's when Josh Jacobs was still there. So it was the same situation as Antonio Gibson. So I slammed Josh Jacobs. And then it's pretty much, I'm just going to wait out for a receiver. We all know how deep receiver is. So although I don't have any studs or like guaranteed probably floor that I like, I have plenty of depth. Yep. I'm just going to have to play around with it. There's a ton of upside in Claypool and Lamb and Callaway, as long as MT is not there. Even Chark's a number 1. Antonio is supposed to be looking like the Antonio from 4 years ago, but I we'll have to see that. Rondell Moore's a guaranteed number 2. Sanders is apparently trying to take the number 2 role from John, that John Brown role, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
We all know Higbee. Well, Higbee fell to the 12th round, so obviously I waited to tight end. Was it 12th or later? No, I think it was 12 for Higbee. I got a tight end by waiting somehow. And then Gordon was still. I got Gordon right after Cass got Williams. So I guess we'll see how that backfield pans out. I think it's another situation where Gordon's probably gonna do better in the first end of the season. So maybe I could sell him high. Probably gonna look at selling Gordon or Jacobs or the combination of the 2. Probably gonna have to get rid of one of these running backs for like more of a consistent receiver, like a PPR receiver. That's the only thing I probably have to do down the road. The Dak thing. So Danny and Tooch took Murray. This is what, 5th round?
Might have been.
A 6th or 5th or 6th. And I knew that Junior was definitely going to take him on either his next pick or the swing pick. We all know how much he loves Dak, and I already invested in the CD Lamb. And I think this is like my third league of getting that stack. I'm upset with myself for not thinking about Josh Allen, because I'm very high on Josh Allen this year, but I went for the stack over the guy that I probably like better. Just knowing that, I don't know, I think quarterbacks can be that important. I really do. We saw Dak's numbers last year when healthy, and I think dude's on a vengeance, man. It has nothing to do with being a Cowboy fan. I mean, they should make the playoffs in that division, but I'm not worried about them. I'm just looking at it from a fantasy standpoint. And as far as a draft grade, I think I'd probably around the realm of what we gave the other guys. Maybe a B.
Yeah, I'd go B as well.
But
I think
my drafts are generally always a B, and I probably just go up from there. So.
Yeah, I think you're a better in-season manager than you are a drafter. Obviously, you made the finals 2 years in a row, so you know what you're doing. You make a lot of good pickups, and you're usually make 1 or 2 trades, but you don't do any crazy trades. You trade for what you need, especially if you're deep if you're deep in a position, you'll trade it to someone that's not, and then you'll claim what you're looking for. So yeah, I don't doubt you anymore. You have 3 finals appearances with 1 championship, looking for a second one. And yeah, I think overall a different draft for you. Not what I was expecting, but
I played my position, and
I think we'll see. You kind of just played the hand that you were dealt, especially the early rounds.
That's
When
what
the
you have to do,
value's there, you take it. Sometimes you don't only go by position; you got to go by the value. So I think that's what you did. I think we have Chris Cameron next.
Yeah, he was right after me.
Yep.
Probably one of the more interesting drafts from what I remember.
Chris
Waller, I hardly know her.
Oh yes, he must have Darren Waller on his team.
I mean, this team can be another boomer bust kind of situation. What's with these weak benches though? What's going on? The bench is scary with some of these drafters in this league. And I think that's why you see some of the same teams kind of going the distance.
Yeah, you could start because I started your last team if you want to. I know Chris was drafting literally right next to you, so if you want to talk about kind of the way he went
Yeah,
about
so
things.
he obviously me taking Cook, Kamara fell into his hands. I think Kamara is probably the best way to describe his team. I think it's like, he's a PPR machine. He could probably be better than last year, but then again, the offense may not be as good as last year, and he does have Jameis Winston under the helm, which is probably better for him. But you don't know, Karma. I think Kamara can explode and be amazing, or he could just be like, kind of a shitty fourth overall pick. And then the rest of his team kind of follows suit here. Darren Waller obviously is probably going to be the rock of his team. I don't think in the PPR there's any doubt that Darren Waller is not going to be amazing. And then you have Juju, Metcalf, Moore. These are guys with plenty of upside, but question marks. Chase Edmonds again supposed to be a clear-cut starter. Will he maintain the job? Marquise Brown, I'm not a fan of starting even in the flex personally. Then again, that team's kind of like weak at receiver, right? Still probably the guy there. I like Herbert, and that's fine from that standpoint. Fournette should be solid. He might have to consider him down the road. And I just think the rest of his bench is just caca. So, like bad. So with that being said, I'd probably give him like a B-, just because some of the upside guys.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I
He's gonna
love
have a
his
hard season, man.
I love his front four: Herbert, Metcalf, Moore, and Kamara. And
Yeah.
then I'm not big on Edmonds, but I do like Waller. So I guess those are his core five. Other than that, I think he has a lot of question marks. Very weak bench. Latavius Murray's not even on the team anymore. Tony Pollard's a handcuff for a player he doesn't even have. Devontae Parker,
Next.
Jalen Reagor are kind of just in mess of offenses right now. Leonard Fournette is in a running back system. Tyson Williams, I guess that's just a prayer. Justice Hill is another prayer for a Ravens running back to hit. Don't like his flexes at all. Hollywood Brown is extremely boomer bust, hit or miss. Juju Smith-Schuster's in an offense that there's plenty of targets to go around. So I don't know how much he's going to get, especially with the new running back. I might take some away as well. I think he'll win some games strictly because of his core. Guys like Kamara and Metcalf, like those are guys that could just drop like 30 or 40 on any given week, along with Waller. He'll win some games because of that. But Chris is not known to be the best midseason manager. I'll give his overall draft a B-, maybe C+. But I think he needs to step up as an in-season manager more than anything aside from his draft if he doesn't want to end up towards the bottom again. And yeah, that's my take on Chris.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think it is more in the C realm that you over and analyzed it. What happened like between round 10 and 16, man? Did he just quit?
I don't know. I think as he realized that Edmonds might not cut it as an RB2, and he started taking some shots. Latavius Murray's not even rostered. I don't know. I don't really know what he's doing.
At least, Latavius wasn't even rostered then. That was like the day he got cut.
Yeah, I'm not.
It seems like everyone's targeting our next drafter, who we're about to get to, Anthony Castriano. Like, why is he taking his handcuff?
Yeah, I know. I guess. I don't know what happened with Chris.
I mean, let's be honest. He needs to be a midseason manager this year for this team to remotely have a chance at a run.
Yeah,
this core can't take you all the way. It's probably not enough. So we'll see. I'll go C+ to be nice. Maybe Yahoo got this one right. Luck, Chris.
Yes.
All right. So that leaves us at number 5. Anonymous, Anthony Castriano. He started his draft off as Zeke, who looks like to be in top form, great form, but that's all show until he puts it up on the board. He followed that pickup in round 2 with Allen Robinson, or did he get? No, he got Jefferson first, right? So he was able to get Jefferson and then Allen on the swing. I thought at this point he had the best draft. He was having the best draft personally. I think he was up there in question between a few of us. And then I guess things start to get shaky after round 3. I mean, I still think you got some value guys. I don't mind Mike Davis, Julio Jones, Chenault, Matt Ryan as his quarterback, Hawkinson, the tight end. Bench is a little funky for what I know of Cast. They get Javonte Williams. Coleman could pay off. Trey Lance might end up outplaying Matt Ryan once he's healthy and starting. I guess I didn't really fully look at his team, man. I do like the Jamal Williams possibility. Wow. There's more question mark than I thought on this team.
Yeah, I think
I'm a little lost.
Like you said, I was drafting right next to him. And there's a couple picks he took from me, like on the wrap going the other way. I think he started off super duper strong. Zeke, Robinson, and Jefferson is a hell of a way to start a team. He has 2 really, really good receivers. Then he went Jones. I think that was a bit early. I might have went RB2 in his situation just
Jones
because.
at 4?
Yeah.
Had to be.
I think that's a bit
And
early
Davis?
because I'm not positive about Mike Davis' RB2. He doesn't have another running back. Maybe he could slot in Javonte if he hits later in the season. But I think that his first couple picks are really just going to carry him. So those are just so strong. Justin Jefferson, Robinson are awesome. Zeke's a workhorse back. I think Davis might be okay. But I think he should have someone else on speed dial, which I guess that he's banking on with Javonte Williams. Julio Jones already hurt, but he has the ability to be the best receiver in football, which we know. So, I mean, if you get him and have him in your flex and he hits a couple weeks, that's big time. I know there's a lot of hype around Chenault. I just don't know about the Jaguars offense right now. So I think his second
Just
flex
throwing him out there now.
yeah,
Starting him.
I think his second flex is kind of in question. The second flex for everyone's in question. The second flex is a big deal. I think that it changes the way a lot of people drafts. That's why I think instead of reaching on a QB or tight end, sometimes I think you should stack the receivers or running backs because I just think they're more important to fill that second flex, and a lot of people forgot about that. But I think Cass knows what he's doing. I'm pretty sure he has a solid roster aside from his second flex, which he could easily fill if Javonte Williams hits. He could throw Gallup in there. He's kind of been a flooded offense. I think the rest of those are kind of just flyers at this point. Matt Ryan's okay. I know that I took his QB that he wanted, but we can get to that later.
Yeah, that kind of fucked him too.
I think overall, B range, maybe the upper echelon, close to B plus. I just don't really like his. Not crazy about the bench. Not crazy about his wide receiver 2. Flex. I mean, his flex 2. But other than that, I mean, his core is going to win him games. He's got studs that are going to produce points every week. I know Robinson's his guy. And yeah, Cass knows what he's doing. I think he'll be fine. Yeah, they get the. I gave him BB plus. They gave him B minus.
Really?
Yeah, he's
that
actually.
higher?
I maybe B. I don't know. Maybe not B plus. I don't know. I think that he's a better manager than the majority of the people that are going to be around. So he'll make adjustments. He actually is projected the least points right now. I know he
I
doesn't.
hope his team at least stays healthy.
Yeah,
compete.
he doesn't have his handcuff. So if Zeke goes down, that's a problem, especially has no running back depth. Yeah, it looks like it was stolen from him. So
mine too, but we'll get to that. Dude, I mean, I guess I don't know, because I just remember his early draft being so off to a good start, but yeah, I don't know if everyone purposely targets him or maybe he has to stay a little calmer and work around things instead of getting so frustrated about certain things. You know what I mean? Like for example, I mean, just as late around, but you taking Stafford might suck, but maybe that pisses him off or he loses focus. I don't know.
Yeah, I hope his guys stay healthy. That's for sure. I hate to see anybody's team go out like that.
Just seems so thin, right? I mean,
Yeah.
we're starting Chenault off the bat. which could be fine.
Yeah, his teams are usually a bit deeper than this.
Yeah,
But
in the
maybe
league with this kind of managers, I feel like he'd be deeper.
but I think he took some flyers, which is fine. The double flex, you got to hope to hit on somebody. So maybe Williams will hit.
He's not afraid to work the trade wire and stuff like that.
No,
so.
he's not. He's not. I think that he will be fine. I just one concern is probably the second flex, but
I might have to give him the lowest draft grade so far though. I'm not even sure. I think C was my lowest, so I'll have to give him C minus for now.
yeah, you don't like his tail end at
I
all,
just
right?
think and I just think I think he has the chance at the lowest floor, which I guess why they're projecting him with the least points.
Mhm.
I think his floor is the lowest, unfortunately. I mean, he really needs these guys to carry it, you know, more so than Chris's team with Kamara on them. We'll see. So, I really hope Trey Lance is a beast for him. He's got to get the starting position first, though. Gallup, you never know. It sucks, bro. Well, Jamal Williams might be a starter for now.
Nah,
Like,
Swiss playing.
Yeah, so that's not good. All right, man. Let's not beat a dead horse with Cass. He's probably not going to be too happy right now listening to this. So, I mean, we still trust in you. So we definitely trust in Cass. I think we both agree with that as far as a manager. So
I think he'll be all right.
we trust. Yeah, he's projected 135.
Yeah,
I don't even like the projections, man.
Yeah, projections are crap, but I think a cast-led team is always just going to be like at least a B because he knows what he's doing, and not everybody does.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Well, that leaves us with you. That's 6, right?
Moment of truth, the last dance.
So clearly, as we projected, Devontae Adams was left at 6. I don't think there was a question that wasn't going to be your pick if he was there.
That's who I took.
Was Zeke and Kamara and Cook and Henry all gone? I mean, I don't even know what else you would consider here, except for maybe like a Chubb or Aaron Jones instead of Devontae Adams. But
for me, it was if I can't get one of
realm.
those, if I can't get one of those big 4 running
5,
backs, I
yeah.
was going Adams.
Or 4. Yeah, I agree with that. I'm on the same page with that. For Christ's sake, I almost took him at 3 over Cook. So it's Devontae Adams. Obviously, in the second round, you were able to get. You got McLaurin before Mixon, or was that?
No, I got Mixon.
First.
I got Joe Mixon.
I got CD, and then you got McLaurin, and then you got McLaurin. 4th round. Who was your 4th? Gaskin. 1, 2, 3, or Swift. No, Swift. You got I think 5th. I think
4th round was James Robinson, but I traded him.
Oh yeah, James Robinson
for Swift. So I mean, kind of similar.
That's rolled up. Yeah.
Similar ADPs. But yeah.
Yeah, I guess this isn't really about trades, but there already has been one, as we all know. Already stirred the pot. That was you can talk about the trade real quick before I finish analyzing your draft.
Yeah, so I went. I traded James Robinson and Cortland Sutton for DeAndre Swift, who is pretty much similar ADP to James Robinson. I've actually seen him go ahead of him, and Michael Thomas. Everybody knows led the league in receiving 2 years ago. Absolute monster, but he's on the PUP list for the first 7 weeks of the season.
Yeah, we're not gonna let that affect your actual draft grade, and some of the recent pickups. But no, I thought your draft was solid. I'm not sure if it was the draft you were looking for, other than Devontae Adams. We got Devontae and Terry, so I'm sure you're happy about that. And then you took Stafford as your backup quarterback to, I guess, cock podcast. Can we talk about that before I give you a grade?
No, I literally just took him because there was no one else on the board that I liked, and you had just taken Higbee, who was my last option at tight end. And then it actually worked out that like a week ago, they said they were going to trade Zach Ertz, and he re-signed for the Eagles. And then Dallas Goedert asked for a contract extension, and the Eagles didn't give it to him. So, which makes me believe it's going to be Ertz this year again, and Ertz is a beast. Regardless, I wanted either Higbee or I think I was banking on someone else, and there was no tight ends left. So what I did was I said, Cass, if you don't take Stafford this round, I'm gonna take him on the wrap because I don't have a tight end. So what I would like to do is start Stafford, and then I could trade Aaron Rodgers mid-season for like a top tier tight end. Rodgers was the MVP last year, so he won't be that hard to sell high. So if anyone's looking for a quarterback, hit me up. But for now, I think I'm gonna roll with Ertz and see what happens. The Rodgers and Adams stack is just, I mean, that could alone win me a game. I think Adams and Terry McLaurin, once I get a healthy Michael Thomas back, I'll have Devonta Adams, Terry McLaurin, and Michael Thomas as my receivers with Robbie Anderson, who I think is going to be beast this year. He just got paid a bag from Carolina. Had 1,000 yards last year, 95 catches. I think he's going to do even better this year. So I think my receiver core is probably up there with the best in the league, if not the best. And I think my running backs are solid too. Mixon and Gaskin, 2 workhorses, know they're guaranteed getting the rock. DeAndre Swift supposed to have a big year. I just like a lot of people don't have like a good RB2, RB3 combo. I do, just in case one of them don't pan out. Since there is a double flex, I could always see how I'm throwing Gaskin in there right now. But I do have the depth to throw in Michael Pittman if I need to, Randall Cobb if I need to, Devin Singletary, who's the starting running back for the Bills right now, just declared over Zach Moss right now if I need to. So I think I went good with my depth. I'm overall proud of my draft, not even being biased. I'd give myself B plus. I think I drafted well. Couple spots. I mean, I definitely wish I could have had a little bit better of a tight end. I was hoping for like a Mark Andrews, Hawkinson guy like that. But like I said before, I didn't want to reach. Double flex is more important. So if there was an RB2 there over a tight end or a QB, I'm going to take him. Ended up being fortunate with Aaron Rodgers. He fell further than I expected, so I grabbed him. I think Don took Tom Brady over Rodgers, which was huge. I ended up getting him that round. And yeah, if Mixon stays healthy, I think that I could really be a contender. Joe Mixon's a monster. He just got hurt last year, but he's literally the only person in the Bengals that's getting the ball. Joe Burrow is coming back. He just got hurt. Going to be a lot of dump offs. I think Mixon's going to be a monster if he can stay healthy. I think I have a really good team.
Yeah, it's going to be. It looks like you're more set up, obviously, to get to the tail end of the season here, which obviously should always be the goal. So, I mean, we can look at this team this week, and it's probably going to look totally different by a month from now. So, especially with your team. So, but based off the draft, you know what you drafted, dude, they give you a D plus. I just fucking noticed that.
Yeah, I don't think I took.
I didn't even look at the draft page.
Yeah, I think I don't think I ended up. I think I drafted 2 defenses and I took 2 quarterbacks. I don't even think I took a kicker. So they don't. I picked everything is set how it's supposed to be now. Because I know.
Although I think I liked your draft team better going in, obviously prior to the trade.
Yeah, I know you think that James Robinson was better, and I know I guess the good thing about me drafting depth was it gave me the chance to wait on Thomas.
I'd like to see Sutton in the flex personally. You know.
Yeah, he could have been a flex.
Robbie's gonna be a beast though. I mean, with these 3 running backs, I don't think I would personally want to start. Wouldn't want to have to start these 3. But with your current bench, you know, until one of these receivers can step up, you know, or know that they can step up, I guess it makes sense now, you know.
Yeah, the thing is with the running backs, it's guaranteed touches. With the receivers,
depending
exactly. On the offense, it kind of floats around. So I'm obviously I'm not playing games.
I'd like to see Mixon, Robinson, and then like Anderson and like Sutton would make me feel better about this team.
Yeah. So
I know the risk that you're trying to take. So, you know, Devontae, Rodgers, and McLaurin and Mixon could be enough to win you games, at least, you know, enough to get to that point. So that's for sure, 6 to 7 games. So it's possible. It's definitely possible. Pittman could be a beast. I like the dart throws on Pittman and Randall Cobb actually.
Yeah, I really think Pittman's going to be awesome. Carson Wentz, we just talked about this off air. He's playing week 1.
I was keeping my eye on Cobb.
Yeah, Cobb was good when he played with Rodgers. It was back when
snagged off the waivers, but
it was back when
draft.
Yeah, it was back when Jordy Nelson was the wide receiver 1 and Cobb was the wide receiver 2. That's when I think Adams was rookie, and now it's Adams is 1, and I think Cobb will be his 2. Even last year, he never really had a 2. They had Alan Lazard and Valdez Scantling, but those guys were like want to catch a game. I think PPR Cobb will be good.
You've handcuffed Mixon, so it's always good. If Birch doesn't pan out, you do have Everett, obviously, or the Ertz, there could be upside
Yeah,
there.
click on Everett's little tag. They said that he was becoming
Yeah, his favorite target, right?
yeah, something like that.
Well, with him and Higby separated, it's good for the both of them. So
Yeah,
ironically, we have both of them. So.
yeah, I think they were both good guys. So I think that he's good, and we'll see what happens with Ertz. But I know that he just re-signed and he wasn't supposed to, and
Yeah,
he
so
was a beast for them.
based off your original draft, because that's what this is about. It's probably like I said, I kind of probably like that team better at the going into the season. I'll probably have to give. I'm just trying to think about how we did everyone else. I guess a solid B. I don't want to go too crazy. B's right. Yeah, I'll give you a solid B.
That is
I'm not sure
fair.
if I'm not sure if anyone's even gonna get an A. Honestly, a B plus would probably be a very good grade. B's obviously a great grade.
Yeah, I think our league
I
is
think our scales, yeah, it's tough.
yeah, there's league's just too competitive. Not you can't really stack your teams. Most people know what they're doing now.
Yeah, yeah. For a team to get an A report card, that means a lot of people fucked up. We're getting D's and stuff like that. So,
Shout out Cast. Uh
is it C minus?
yeah,
Yeah.
I told Cass we were on his team and he was getting a low rating. So the trash talk starting early. So if anyone's
Yep,
upset
yep.
about your team grades, prove us wrong, make some moves, make some waiver wire pickups, make some trades. I love it
Yeah,
starting already on the
it's
Wednesday
just your
night
draft
before.
grades.
Yeah,
Bill
it's
Hapatil's team is different since the draft, and it was like a
yeah.
week ago.
And I guarantee by the week 17, you look at my team, won't even look remotely close to what it looks like now. But I digress.
So we have to move on to the tail end of this draft. Number 7. Who's after you?
Was it Junior?
Junior. Yeah, it was Junior.
Junior projected the most points in the league.
Franz Easel still hasn't gotten back since 2016.
Projected the most points in the league.
Projected the most points every year, apparently. Let's see.
You can go
So-
first. I know you have a hidden rivalry with Junior, so let's.
Yeah, I don't know where that even starts from. He's not even on my level, especially fantasy wise. So he started his draft by Aaron Jones. I'm not mad at that at number 7, especially when DeMonte's gone. I think it was Jones or Chubb there, which probably makes the most sense. Unless you're gonna reach for like an Antonio Gibson or something. But I like the Jones pick. I guess second round he snagged Hopkins and then got Carson on the way back. Then he probably got Andrew. Then he got the Andrews and Lamar stack, which is no one's gonna ever complain about. His flexes, have some upside, but there's question marks there. And then I think like most of these teams, he's no different, but probably worse. Like his depth is just garbage. I mean, he took my fucking. I mean, he took my handcuff. He did the same thing to who was it last year, Commissioner? Who had Dalvin
No,
Cook last
no,
year?
he did it. No, he did it to me.
Yeah, so I mean, he did to you. Same thing, different year. Terrence Marshall's not a bad pick, actually. That's a nice dart throw. The question, I don't like Christian Kirk this year with Rondell Moore. Obviously, I have him on my bench, but Gabriel Davis. I think Emmanuel Sanders steps in front of Gabriel Davis. Naheem Hines, I don't know what he was doing. He doesn't even have Jonathan Taylor anyway, right? So, Curtis Samuel can't get on the field, and James Conner, nice to stash. I guess we'll have to see. Yeah, I think his team just falls off. He's got a decent core, and then it just kind of drops off. He's gonna have to get carried by Lamar, and that Lamar Andrew stack. I could see the upside, but I'm not a fan of this team. What do you think?
Yeah. So I love his starting 5 or 6. I think he's one of those guys that also started the draft really hot. Starting with, he got Aaron Jones and DeAndre Hopkins as his first 2 picks, followed by Chris Carson, monster, love him. Cooper Kupp's going to be great with Matt Stafford. Lamar Jackson, one of the top tier quarterbacks in the league. We all know this. Mark Andrews, really quality tight end. I think he's like right there beneath. He's not in like the Kittle Waller range, but he's like a little bit below that tier. So he's
his
like
5 are great, man.
Yeah,
Six.
Yeah, his front 5 and 6 were really, really good. I really like Brandon Cooks too. I was actually between Brandon Cooks or Aaron Rodgers. I ended up going Rodgers, and Junior took Cooks right after me. But I remember he told me he thought I was going to pick him, which I was considering it. Cooks sneakily had 1,000 yards last year. I know that was with Deshaun Watson, and his quarterback this season is unknown, but I think he'll be the best guy there. I guess it's Tyrod Taylor. Not sure about Deebo Samuel because I just don't really know how the 49ers offense is going to be. He didn't do that really. He didn't really do much anything last year with Jimmy Garoppolo, but I think if Trey Lance gets the job, he'll air it out a bit more. But I think Brandon Ayuk's the guy there, and George Kittle's the guy there. So I'm not too big on a second flex. And kind of what I said about Cass team and a couple other guys' teams, I just think the second flex is so huge and it's been so remiss. Especially the fact that he went QB early with Lamar Jackson. What did I say before? I said people that go QB early and people that go tight end early. Yes, you might be good in those spots, but your second flex is going to suffer because there's only so many rounds in the draft. I think he's going to be trying to find one, whether it's Samuel, whether it's Connor, whether it's the other Samuel. And then I obviously took a bunch of flyers on his bench, took some other people's handcuffs again, as usual. I think Junior's starting 5 or 6, like I said, is very strong. I think that alone could give him a B- rating. His bench definitely fell off, and I don't think he's a good in-season manager, if I have to be completely honest. So I think I'll give him a B- that's where I'll go. I know he's projected the most points this week, and look, his starting 5 or 6 are really good. He's going to win some games. Let's call a spade, but I don't know if it's championship material.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna give him a B because of the 6 alone. You nailed it. I mean, it's the flexes. It's it's not even just the one flex. It's the added second flex, and this is where you see a different type of strategy and just off the draft alone, just more knowledgeable owners. So I think it's going to hurt him. I think he could be a nice targeted trading team. He's got a nice solid group of 6 that he can trade for more depth. Fill in those flex roles. One or 2 major injuries, and he's really not doing so well though, which happened last year. He lost Dak, and that was it. But he started off the draft very well. I don't know if somebody was helping him, so I'm going to give him a solid B just for that reason. Hopefully he's competing for the loser's punishment.
Yeah, he studied for the draft 5 minutes before the draft. There was video evidence from Anthony Cast recorded by him.
Why did he take 2 handcuffs that weren't his though? That's fun.
He always does this. He banks on other people's running backs to get hurt so he can start the backups instead of handcuffing his own running backs. Like if he loses Aaron Jones or Chris Carson, he doesn't have anyone to replace them. So I guess good luck.
So he's maybe like trying to get a flyer, fill in for a week or 2 in the most random position possible.
Yeah, I don't know.
So what happens if like say those guys do start, but his guys are still healthy? What does he do? He's going to flex them in, or?
Yeah, I guess that's where his last flex spot comes in, where he could maybe swap one of those in. I guess maybe he has.
I'm trying to understand the logic there. Yeah.
Maybe he has a plan. I don't really understand Junior's logic ever at any aspect of life, but I digress.
Well, he hasn't really proved it in 6 years.
No, I think he made the playoffs once. He's lost. He's coming like second to last, third to last. I think playoffs appearance would be a win for him this year. So
any year would, yeah.
Yeah, shoot for that. I know we had to hear.
I'm really pushing for Don, man, to get into a playoff. He came so close, man.
Oh, that'd be
We'll
huge.
get to those predictions soon.
Yeah, so let's keep going. We're almost done. I don't want to take too long with the recaps. We will go to, I think it's Big and Nick Titolo, which is the Bubbles gang. I'm playing against them this week. The Bubbles and gang.
Yeah, and just keep in mind, this is the post draft is always probably the longest podcast of the year. I mean, obviously, there's a lot to cover with these drafts.
Yeah, if you're listening and you want to just fast forward to your team, don't worry, we won't get offended. We did go in order.
So it's not just Big Boy by himself. We've added Nick Titolio, who's just a solid person in general. I think he's just great to have around the league and good positive energy. And I think he's gonna balance Big lot well. That's definitely better than Cass could. I think they didn't work so well together. I think these two will.
Super into the league too. Super into the league. Very positive attitude coming into the draft.
You can see it.
Nick
I
Titolo.
mean, it definitely worked out. I don't know if I think Big kind of led the way, and maybe Nick was like too easy with the decision making, but I think it worked out. I think you use Big's head, use his knowledge, and you just provide them positive support, and level them out when needed. I think that's what's going to take them to the long run. I think this is going to be a playoff team. We can start from the top down, but they started the draft off with Chubb in the first round. They swung around and they got Montgomery, I believe, in the second. No, they got Calvin Ridley in the second. So already a nice start. Then they got Montgomery in the third round. Grabbed Sanders in the fourth. So again, great start to a draft. Josh Allen in the fifth. The late Josh Allen, because I've already taken Dak and Murray. So they got Josh Allen at a pretty good value. And then after that, it does get a little shakier. Obviously, there's question marks hanging around Odell Beckham, starting Corey Davis as a wide receiver 2. Although he's the clear cut number 1 there, right? Am I missing something there? Unless Elijah Moore takes over, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I try not to draft Jets players.
Yeah, it's so confusing sometimes. The bench is obviously taking dart shots, but whose isn't? Rashad Bateman, we forgot he got hurt after the draft, so they kind of already took a hit there. Waddle, AJ Green, Hubbard, Darnell Mooney should be fine. Ingram's actually supposed to split touches with Lindsey. He could be the goal line guy. Watkins could have a big role in that receiving core now that Bateman's gone. And Levon Bell, I know they just picked him off waivers, but he just got signed to Baltimore as well. So I think these two are going to make a playoff run. I like the running back core, and Calvin Ridley's probably good enough to carry the receiving core. There's just questions after Ridley. I'll let you take it from there. I think that's where he's at.
Yeah, I think in terms of running back core, they're right up there with you as the best one. I might be better than yours on any given day.
And we mocked a lot together, so I could see how that ended up happening.
I think they like you, they went running back heavy. And then with that, but they did get one of the stud receivers as well. They did get Calvin Ridley. So they have him to rely on along with the 3 stud running backs. David Montgomery and Nick Chubb are really good. Miles Sanders, I think he has a lot of talent. We'll see if they run the option with Hurts and that Eagles offense. I don't think he did that great last year, but for an RB3, hell, I think he's pretty solid, better than half the league for sure. And I just think they're a little bit weak in their wide receiver area aside from Ridley. Corey Davis relying on as your wide receiver too. I think they'd probably start Odell there. But even him, he's kind of like, I don't know, he was questionable last year. He was hit or miss with Odell. So I think he was questionable. And I don't know about Davis. From past experience, I hate relying on Jets players. But I think these guys are good managers. So they obviously stacked some receivers on their bench to prep for a scenario like this. They got AJ Green, they got Mooney, they got Waddle, a rookie that could hit. They got Sammy Watkins, who might be the wide receiver 1 over in Baltimore that could hit. So I think these guys got options. That's the big thing for guys that are weak in an area. You see they stack the bench and hope that one pans out. So, and like you said about a lot of teams, like these guys, superstars, are going to win them some games. Josh Allen alone, Calvin Ridley alone, Chubb, Sanders, Montgomery. These guys are going to put up numbers regardless of the remainder of the team. So I think they're going to win some games. I think this is a playoff team. As long as the 2 minds don't, counteract and initiate some turmoil, I think this is a really good team. This might be one of the better drafts. I think this is a BB plus range. They're just weak in their wide receiver too, but I mean, everybody's got a weak spot, but their running back depth makes up for it. And let's not forget, Josh Allen was like a top 3 quarterback last year. So I know that you left him for them. And I'm playing against these guys week 1, so I'm rooting for a poor performance, but I think they're.
I don't know if I could push B plus with the receiving core. Fortunately,
I think Ridley could carry.
It is a PPR league. I agree, but it's a double flex. You're really supposed to be starting 4 receivers technically at the end of the day, but
yeah, I mean, I'm going 3 receivers and a running back.
I mean myself too included, but
yeah.
There's a lot of question marks and wide receiver across the board for everyone, really.
Yeah, I think.
Imagine Odell pays off. I mean, Odell, his value is great. We talked about that going into the draft together. So multiple drafts this year. You're getting Odell, what, 7, 8, 9, somewhere around there. He could really pay off.
Yeah.
He might be his RB2. He might be his wide receiver too. True,
Yeah.
too.
I mean, this is
Darnell
definitely,
Mooney, Waddle.
regardless of the weaknesses, everybody's got one. I think this is a strong team. There's no debate
No,
about
I
that.
agree. I could see them filling in the holes through the year and then definitely getting some early wins.
Yeah. I think these
I
both.
think they're gonna be fine as managers together too. I'm gonna give them a solid B as well. I don't think I'm gonna push to B plus. I don't think I'm gonna be anywhere B plus yet.
Fair.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep everyone in that B range for now. But they're gonna compete as long as they stay healthy.
Definitely. Definitely going to compete. Big
Yeah, I'm
boys.
looking, like they pass the eye test even with the receivers.
Yeah, definitely. It's like one of those eye test teams. I agree.
And then we have who was that for them? So you were 6, 7, 8, now we're at 9. Who was 9? Was it Joey?
Yeah, we have Joey.
9.
Then we have the Lukes, and then we have the Commish.
9, 10, 11. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Joey, I'm gonna.
So yeah, this is pretty easy. You could take this one.
I'm just gonna start out by saying I think Joey has the worst draft.
Yep.
I'm also gonna follow that by saying I don't doubt Joey anymore. He's done it twice. I don't know if it's. I know it's by luck, but he makes. He drafts guys that don't really get injured. He usually makes 1 or 2 really good trades that benefit him. Makes a couple good pickups. I don't think he drafted well. If the Chiefs get COVID, his team is done. But he had Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, and Travis Kelce. Them alone will win you multiple weeks. If the Chiefs have a good game and they score a lot of touchdowns, chances are most of those guys have something to do with it. He's going to get points. I think the rest of his team is pretty questionable. I think Ayuk is solid. We'll see what happens with the 49ers offense. But if they get a good QB, Ayuk's beast. The rest, Mike Williams and Jacoby Myers is your double flex. I mean, those are kind of just prayers. Those are hit or miss type guys. His running backs are rough. Henderson might be okay in the Rams offense, but Zach Moss is your starting RB2, not good. Malcolm Brown, Michael Carter. These are just literal shots in the dark. He's got Zach Wilson, Denzel Mims. He's got a couple of jet players. He's got Gronk for 1 week as a bye week, who he might end up flexing because his flexes are so bad. He has Chris Conley, who I didn't even know who he was. His bench is absolutely awful. Besides his 3 or 4 picks, he's absolutely
Conley
awful.
was on Jacksonville last year. I think he's playing his team.
Yeah.
Mims is, I don't think he's even on the roster anymore. He might not have made the 53.
This is a C- D+ rated draft. But like listen, I said, I don't doubt Joey anymore. So that's all I have to say.
You already know what letter he gets because he's only known as 1 letter. You know what it is.
He's D for the dog.
Yep, D for the dog. D for the dog, the K9. But this could be a D. This could be an A disguised in a D.
Yeah, we've seen 0-4 drafted teams by him win out and win the league. So like I said, I don't doubt Joey anymore.
Well, I've already made the commitment to the bet. If Joey wins this year again, it'd be 3 peats. And now seeing this team, I am out. I'm retiring, and I will do the loser punishment, regardless of finishing 12th place. So I'm going to add that. To the equation after seeing his draft.
Yeah, I mean, Joe.
So
if
you
Joey,
heard it here first.
Joey wins this, he's the greatest of all time. There's no debate.
I will retire, and I will do the loser's punishment with the loser, unless I am the loser. That is my bet.
Yep.
And Joey owes me nothing in return.
Yeah, Joey wins this. He's the greatest of all time. Plain and simple. There's no debate anymore. It's not even a discussion.
The sad thing is, I probably shouldn't say that because he has Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, and Travis Kelce, right? But what does he do on their bye week? Just talking hypothetical here.
I don't know. What does Joey ever do on a bye week? That's where he gets one of his. That's where he gets one of his losses, I guess.
So he starts Zach Wilson. I mean, does he even have a second tight end? Oh, God. Okay, it's Gronk.
Yeah,
Will Fuller can come back and be a beast. I mean, there still needs more than that.
Whoever plays Joey on his bye week is going to have a field day.
Oh my God. There's really not much to say of this team, and this is not.
He didn't draft well, but I don't doubt him. So it is what it is.
Jesus Christ. It's not what you expect from a 2-time defending champion, right?
No, if I told you, if I showed a stranger that this guy won the league twice, they would laugh at me. Based on his draft.
Or is this what it's supposed to look like? I mean, maybe we're wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I almost lost last year, so who am I to talk? And you did lose in the championship to him
Twice,
last year, so yeah, I guess
twice.
he's got your number right now. So this is really has got to be your year to overthrow him.
So I think we had Luca Duccio before Luke Ligori, right?
Yes,
And the
yes, yes,
OnlyFans was
yes,
the next one.
yes, because Luke Liguori drafted right before Weezer, where he made his ultimate Michael
And just
Thomas
to
pick.
clarify, Joey, you got D. D is in D for dog.
Yeah, yeah. If Joey's a D, this might be another D that's right up there with him. Um,
Oof,
this is no, this is Luca Duccio's team.
I know. You're
Oh,
giving Luke.
oh no, 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 no.
Oh,
I thought we were
I
going to
thought
Luke
it was
Liguori.
no, yeah, I thought there was shots fired. I'm like,
Yeah.
holy shit!
Oh no, this is
I
Luca.
was
No,
gonna.
no,
Oof.
never a D. He always drafts really well, actually. He usually kind of drafts by the book. He doesn't really take any
Yeah,
crazy risks.
he's gonna be in
He
that B realm.
Yeah, he waited on QB. I think his running backs are awesome. Saquon, Najee, and I guess Gus is now the starter in Baltimore. I know they just picked up Le'Veon Bell, but we'll see. But first, I mean, those two, if they could stay healthy, especially Saquon and Najee's a rookie, but those two, just with the volume alone, could win him games. I think Woods and Godwin are two solid receivers as well. It's not like he went running back heavy, but his receivers are still solid and deep. T. Higgins is a beast too. There's just a lot of balls to go around in the Cincinnati. So not sure about that, but I think this is just a solid team.
Yeah,
Um,
I agree.
couple of just youth
Passes
flyers
the
on
eye
his
test.
bench. Yeah, we're just one of those teams that's got solid players all around. Nothing like amazing. I mean, starting two running backs are, and nothing like that's bad. I think that's just like a B minus B team,
Well, he's got
maybe.
Gus Edwards too. He's got a great receiving running back
Yeah,
core, especially
yeah.
Barkley works out.
I think this is a B
And
team.
and Mostart. Mostart's going to start.
Yeah, he might be able
So
to start two running backs at a time in the flex if he doesn't want to start Higgins. I think this is a like a B team.
I like Higgins. No, it's a solid. Are we pushing B plus?
I think it could be. I think it could be.
I think Fields, like based off the draft, you're not going to get Fields help him give for the B plus. But I think Fields takes his starting role down the road. Not only takes the starting role of Chicago, I think he can be an excellent
Yeah,
fantasy
I mean,
asset.
I don't know
There's
about
upside there.
Hurts
Yeah,
right
but
now.
without even factoring that, because that's down the road, I feel like I want a little bit more receiver depth. Like I want more depth in general here.
Yeah, who's his third receiver? Ruggs? Oh, Higgins.
Yeah, there's a
What?
big drop off, man. That receiver, which is weird because there's so many good receivers.
Yeah, I
Hardman
think.
would be his closest
Yeah, it looks like he
next
went
up.
running backs more.
Um, I think I'm leaning towards my first B plus. Did I give out a B plus?
Don't think you have.
No, I'm gonna give him my. I think he's my first B plus.
Luke
His
always
his
drafts well.
starting team is solid.
Yeah, I want to say this. Luke always drafts well. By the way,
Yeah,
Ever,
yeah,
he
no, absolutely.
always
It's
has like
fine.
a
It's
good team
not
behind
gonna
him.
play though. Oh, it's a little questionable. The tight ends. He has no other tight end yet. He might not need to look at another tight end. He's definitely going to look at another tight end. He took Junior's handcuff, so I'm happy about that. I'll give him a B plus.
I think that is fair.
He's just a solid drafter either way. So
That's fair.
he's going to need some help down the road from the bench there, but he'll get it. And then we have Luke Ligori, who probably still ended up having a better draft than Joey. We're not even we already kind of got into the trade, but we're not going to equate that into the situation. We're going to try to base his draft grade over his actual draft. There's no way to see that right prior to well, we're looking at his current team.
Yeah, it still shows his draft grade if you scroll up.
Well, yeah, I saw the draft grade. I'm saying we can't see the original roster, but we all know he drafted Michael Thomas in the first round, who's going to be out for probably 8 weeks to 9 weeks, depending on when he can get back on the field. And then he tried getting
Pittman as well.
Well, yeah. Well, he tried getting J.K. Dobbins, who hit the IR.
Oh,
a
tried
week prior.
drafting, yeah, and
Yeah, tried
also Todd
drafting.
Gurley.
And then Todd Gurley, who's a free agent, which I mean, it's fine if you want to grab him, but you can just grab him in the 16th round. So that pretty much sums up the majority of his draft. Like within that though, he still got some good pick. I mean, Jonathan Taylor at the swing after fucking up with Michael Thomas is fine. He really could have Jonathan Taylor and like a Saquon Barkley. You know, he could have something in that realm. You did get Jerry Judy, Tyler Lockett, Hunter Henry, and then it's just complete shit show after that. And Jamar Chase is okay. I mean, without your trade, he's not even in question of competing. I
Yeah,
think you actually gave him a chance to compete.
yeah, he's got a flex now at least.
You know, James Robinson Sutton came from you.
Well, I mean, I took Swift. So I mean, he still lost his RB2 and then gained one back, but he has another
Yeah.
flex now with Sutton at least.
Yeah, it definitely helps him though. Obviously, compete with the flexes.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think
I mean, I know we're harping on Joey, but clearly this has to be probably honestly, we might just give him an F. He's got to get an F drip. Draft is fucking horrendous. Off the first pick alone, he's got to get an F.
yeah, it's
There's no sugarcoating it.
I don't know. I mean, Taylor,
The guy was not prepared at all.
like the only consistent players I could see that really will put up points aside from James Robinson that I gave him are Taylor and Wilson. Even Lockett's kind of hit or miss sometimes. The rest are just a bunch of
Didn't get Taylor at
flyers.
the right pick.
Yeah,
He's got the wrong pick.
he's got two Bronco receivers. I don't know if Hunter Henry's even going to start. I know they have Jonnu Smith. Tyrell Williams is I don't know what receiver.
This team could be historically bad.
Yeah, this team, and he clearly hasn't been paying attention this season. So I don't know if he's going to pay attention during the season. At least he's trying to make moves. But
this is post your trade. It could be historically bad.
This if I had to pick a league loser, he might be up there.
Yeah, I mean, at least Joey has the three-headed horse. You know, three-headed KC.
Yes.
I mean, he's relying on the Russell Wilson, Tyler Lockett stack, which is definitely not a thing. It's definitely a thing. And then Jonathan Taylor and James Robinson can be solid. But then you're missing 4 or 5 players that can put up points. So
yeah, dude.
I don't want to spend too much time on this. This is a clear F for me. It's not good. Definitely contender for the loser punishment with probably Junior and Joey.
I would have to agree.
Let's wrap up our 12th drafter, commissioner. Where's went on 3?
They gave him a C+.
Yeah. I mean, I think we both talked about it. It's not a bad draft. I don't think it was like a splashy or attractive draft. I think his team does pass the eye test personally, as far as a competitive team down the road. I actually like his bench more than most teams, and I think Sal always does that. I think he has a good analysis of players' upside through the year. I mean, Diggs, Amari Cooper, awesome. Eckler, I know he's already questionable, and Hunt as your RB2 is okay. I'd rather see him in the flex. I think Marvin Jones has some upside, but he's fighting for targets there. Tyler Boyd, same thing in that that respect in his receiving core. So his flexes are questionable. Kittle's an absolute monster. Tannehill is fine at quarterback. I don't have a problem with that. He didn't really stack it with anything, but I think his bench is one of the better benches, though. I like Damian Harris this year, especially with the situation going on. Stevenson's also banged up too, so it looks like it's all Harris right now. Elijah Moore could break out, even though we don't want to really rely on any Jet players. I know you somewhat higher on Paris Campbell, right? I know you have Pittman, but
I mean, yeah, I think they're just. I
he's a
mean,
good player.
I think Wentz is going to throw the ball, and I think they don't really have anybody else. Yeah, I think Pittman's still the guy. Obviously, I'm biased because I have him, but
wait, Johnson's still in Houston? I thought that backfield was clear cut Lindsey and Ingram. I thought Johnson was gone.
he's on the team. But it's probably going to be one of them. It's probably going to be Lindsey. I think. I don't know. It's a team I'm staying away from. They don't really have.
And then he grabbed Carson Jr. He grabbed Junior's handcuff. I think this a shot at Junior.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a take.
I think this is a shot on Junior. No
if
Sal.
that was like a take backseat type thing.
Definitely probably a shot at you. I mean, uh, probably probably could have did better at this position. I'll be honest. I think we can probably dive into that. You can probably dive into that. It's interesting to see he got Kittle at the 12. But now that I really like analyze in my head, I haven't really seen Kittle go at the 12.
Yeah,
Like,
I
where
think
did he
for
get him at the 12?
on the wrap. So his third pick.
Third?
Yeah.
It seems like we a lot of us fucked up then. Kittle going to the third. End of the third.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't gonna take Kittle because, like I said, in a double flex, I value like an RB2 or a high end wide receiver
Yeah.
two over that. So like a Terry McLaurin, something like that. I'm gonna take him over Kittle. But I think Kittle, the value, just he had to take him. And then he went Amari Cooper, which kind of left him
On the fourth.
drier at running back. I mean, Kareem Hunt might be an okay RB2. He's not the best, but
Damon Harris will definitely become an RB2 though.
yeah, he just doesn't catch any passes.
Well, yeah, but that's why you have Kareem Hunt for your flex. I mean, I think it'll
Yeah,
be okay though.
I think the team's still okay.
Yeah.
Tyler Boyd and Jones Jr. I don't know. I feel like they're kind of weird for wide receiver.
You're gonna want to pick one and figure out who that's gonna be.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of receivers in Cincinnati now. I think Higgins is probably the best one. And then we're going to Marvin Jones Jr., who is good. He puts up numbers every year, but he's in a new
situation.
new
Yeah.
Jaguars team with a brand new quarterback, like new coach, and I don't know how reliable that's going to be as an every week flex. But I think Sal's a smart guy. He'll probably waiver somebody and find that next flex, which is what a lot of people are weak at. Nobody really has a full complete team
Yeah.
with like guaranteed flexes. I mean, it's tough. It's a deep
I
league.
think Damon Harris pick and save his ass.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think Eckler and Diggs alone will win him a lot of games just because it's
Yeah.
PPR and
The
they're
big
monsters.
question mark is Eckler. He's already not healthy with the hamstring.
I don't.
as
I
of
think
today.
I think I've seen him draft better. But
Yeah, I
also,
agree. But
but I still think maybe B minus. Eckler,
Yeah.
Kittle, and Diggs are three monsters. The rest I don't want to say are question marks, but maybe not as reliable in terms of points production. So I'll probably go.
definitely B minus. B
Yeah, I'll
minus to
go
B.
B minus to B range for Sal. I feel like
Upside on B. Yeah.
like an 80. If he, I would give him like an 80, 83, something like that. If a B were an 85. So yeah.
I mean, damn, he's definitely. This is a team that's going to compete.
Yeah, he always competes. He's always in the playoffs. He never actually won his own league, but he's always up there. So I'd like to see him make a run this year if it's can't be me.
Yeah. Oh, so Eckler holds up.
Yes, sir.
So we've hit all 12 drafts. Nobody got an A. We did have a D and an F.
Yeah, Joey got an A minus.
A lot of
and
Ds.
Joey had an A minus, and this is exactly why we don't go by the Yahoo grades because I think he had one of the worst drafts. But of course,
Wow, they gave him. Can we read this report? How did they give him an A minus? I gotta somewhat look at this, dude.
I guess they love the
The
Kelsey.
trio of Chiefs.
They're projecting him to go 12-2. Well, that would be fucking unbelievable.
You're projected to finish first in LKR. The mark of 12-2. Let's remember this, guys. And then you got the worst, technically. Me and you.
Thus,
We got the worst draft pick.
yeah.
Draft
So
grades,
what do we know?
you know. Well, just so we're clear too, Luke Liguori has already used $2 of his fab. We haven't even started the season until tomorrow.
Who did he use it on?
That's actually what I'm thinking in my head. Why is there even $2 missing? Why do you even have to put $2 on anybody? Fab offers I'm looking at. Oh, Tyrell Williams for $2.
And no one else
Winning
probably
offer.
bid. He probably could
It
have got
was. You bidded $1.
I did?
$1.
Oh, I did. All right. Yeah, he beat me. Nice.
That's pretty funny. Well, Tyrell, I mean that Perriman got shipped off to the Bears, right? So I hope Tyrell Williams will be definitely a nice number 1 there. So I can see that.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I mean, obviously we really just have to finish with some predictions. We don't have too much time to go into like too many things here. So I guess we can start from the top, bottom up as we usually do, starting with who we think is going to be in the loser punishment, who's going to be competing in that game, and then who's going to be the loser, and then we'll go from 12 to 1, and then who's going to be in the finals.
Loser punishment, I think it's gonna be between, I have to say, just off draft, it's gonna be Joey and Luke Liguori. But Joey always proves me wrong, so go ahead, prove me wrong, Joey. Um, Going from there, I think, oh no, if I think the people that are gonna be on the outside looking in, it might be like a junior Don range just because, and Chris, I don't think they'll lose. I think that they'll kind of just miss playoff contention, kind of like they always do. Just because I think they're a little bit worse at midseason management, and I think their draft can only get them so far. Then I kind of think I see Cast and Big fighting for, and I could probably put myself, me and you in there too, fighting for like that, like between that like 6-5-4 spot area, maybe not like the league winner, most dominant team. And then I think I think I'm gonna probably put Weezer, Tucci and Danny, and Luca Duccio towards the upper echelon of the league. And I think I see Big and Nick Totolo maybe a little bit behind, maybe like the 4th or 5th spot. And I think the finals, just based on the draft, I'm gonna go Luke A versus Tooch and Danny, and Luke A wins the draft, wins the league, because he always makes the semifinals, but he never seems to win. So I'll go with him. I think his team is very solid all the way around.
Yeah.
If it can't be me.
So as far as the bottom 4, fighting or competing for the losers punishment, for me, it's between Joey, Luke, Liguori, Junior, and Chris. I think those are the bottom 4. For 12 and 11, I'll have to go with Luke, Liguori, and Chris Camero. For some reason, I feel like they're going to be competing for a loser punishment. Chris might end up doing 2 in a row, but I'm going to go with Luke this year. So I'll go Luke at 12, Chris at 11, Joey at a solid 10, Junior at 9. So they're all out of playoff contention. And then next group up, I think Cass gets stuck and ends up in 8 or 7, but I'm going to give him 8.
On the outside looking in.
Yep. I think Don just finishes 7 because he's never going to make a playoffs. I don't think he's a good enough manager with all these good teams. He could prove me wrong, but I just don't think it happens. Matter of fact, it's kind of hard to even put him over Cass, but I think Cass gets fucked that much. So I'll put Cass at 8, Don at 7. That leaves the playoffs, right? So it's you, me, Danny and Tooch, Commissioner, Sal, Luke, Aduccio, and who am I missing? Oh, and Big and Nick Totolio. Then that's the top 6. This is where it gets, I mean, anything can happen. There's just too much season left. But based off of what we know now, I'm going to give Big and Nick Totolio 6. I'll slide Nick and Tooch at 5th. I mean, Tooch and Danny at 5th, right above them. So I think that the 2 dual-headed managers will go 5 and 6. At 4, I think we'll find Commissioner at 4. I think he won't make the finals yet again. He'll just be right on the outskirts there. I think Luke Giudicio, same thing. Just knocks on the door of the finals and misses by slightly. I guess it's set up for a me and you finals.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Once I do process of elimination.
That'd be juicy.
I think the last dance could be me and you. Or it's really gonna be the last dance and Joey proves us all wrong and then I have to retire. So, that's just me being confident. Clearly, I want to get back to the finals. It's going to be ridiculously hard to do 3 times in a row or 4 out of 5 years, but I want to get back and I want to win. So I'm not going to stop until I do it. So this is the league that I'm all. I ended up in 5 leagues, but this is the league I'm all dialed in. So I'm 100%. This league comes first for me. So I'm going to put myself in the finals. That's just if you don't believe in yourself, who will, right?
I hear you.
Who is your finals?
I put Luca Duccio and Tuch.
Yeah, I think they can possibly get in there. I think literally that top 6 it can go anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
I
I feel
think
like
that's
I'd
a
be
good top
biased.
6.
I feel like I would be
Right.
biased. I mean, I didn't think it happened in the playoffs, dude. It's literally
Yeah.
just takes 1 week. Like you could be the best team all season and then just
Yeah,
have a bad
exactly.
week in playoffs. So
And Cass can sneak in the finals. I mean, I just think he's gonna get fucked. But that's just what he does. It's big can get fucked. Anyone can get fucked. So for all we know, Junior's gonna be in the finals this year.
oh God, I hope not.
Imagine like a Junior Joey finals. Well,
That would be something.
I wouldn't doubt it, unfortunately. So Luke Leagues even makes the playoffs. That'd be incredible at this rate. So,
If Luke makes it out of the loser punishment, that'd be incredible.
yeah. Well, we had some good loser punishments this year.
The
Good
this year's loser picks the loser punishment. So Chris Camero gets the pick.
Yeah, once he actually does his.
That is correct.
Well, here's our power rankings according to Yahoo, based off of like projected points.
Okay, so they gave me the worst draft, but I'm projected 3rd place. Makes a lot of sense, Yahoo. Joey got the best draft and the most points. Okay.
Yeah.
Dagon Cast coming last.
So when I give him a C- out of straight unbiased decision and looking at the rest of his draft,
Yeah, at least he could.
I mean, he's significantly power ranked under everyone. Also, I think I was power ranked 12th last year, and I ended up finishing for. I don't know. I was first at the end of the year.
Yeah, Cass is actually
so-
power ranked 12 underneath Luke
The guy who
Liguori.
the guy who picked Michael Thomas in the 11th overall. So
Yeah, that's insane.
I wish they gave us like a strength of schedule kind of thing, but you have to do that on your own based off of what we said. These are our manager rankings. I guess I've shot up, so whatever that's worth. Where are you at? Yeah, so ironically, you see like the bronze guys. Oh no, where's oh no, Luke's actually gold.
Yeah, I'm a silver.
I used to use multiple accounts. Like not all my leagues, not all my years have been on this one.
Luke's also a former finalist back in the day.
Yeah, true.
He just
No, Luke's came close almost every year and a finalist once.
Yeah, no, I think he
3
just
years in a row he came close. I feel like.
I don't think he did his research this year. Actually, no, not think. I know he didn't do his research this year, but
Here's our history since 2016. You got the repeat winner, Big, myself, and Cass. These are our 2nd place wingers. I got 2 2nd places. This is the one you're talking about. This is Luke's 2nd place against Big.
yeah.
Chris lost to me, and then Luke lost to Cass the first year. So
Yeah.
Luke's been to 2 finals.
He has championship
me.
DNA, just never been in never won the big one.
And then we have our traditional 3rd places with Luke Caduccio and Sal.
I agree.
Booty Pop and AB. I think that was Luke Caduccio too, right?
That was Danny
And
Mac.
then, that was Danny when he was solo, right?
Yes.
And then the 2 3rd places before that was I'm not sure if we say his name anymore, but Nico Liguori is no longer allowed in the league.
Yeah,
Also a good competitor.
due to refusal of payment.
We might have that happen this year with Bluefish Blitz or revolving Bluefish. They can't involve the pay. But so next week we'll get more into news of the week and things of that nature.
I think that's about it for
Wrap up our matchups.
think that's about it for the league preview pod.
Yeah.
Stayed on for this long.
Yeah.
Shout out to you for listening, going through everything. This was a lot of fun though. I mean, looking forward to tomorrow for whoever's got players playing tomorrow night. Good luck. Thursday night football. Set your lineups, guys. Last day before football starts. So set your lineups. Get everybody in you want in. And yeah, man. Good luck to everybody. Hopefully everybody's players stay healthy, everybody's competitive, and maybe you guys will prove us wrong. We'll listen back to this on week 17 and see who was right.
All we can do is say good luck. Love you all as usual. Let's have some fun. Let the shit talking commence, and it's nothing but love. So,
All right.
good luck. Let's have
Peace.
some fun tomorrow.
We'll see you guys on the other side. Good luck.
Yes, sir.